a 9-year-old boy in our parish sent in an envelope with some money and this note in it. Dear St. Vincent de Paul, here is some money for people that don't have food. I've been saving it for 1 year now so I can help people who are poor. I'm glad to help any other time. I hope you take care of anyone who needs help. The envelope from the 9-year-old held $78. And why do I tell this story? Because it's just one example here of people who understand what this is all about. I could tell many stories like that. A while back, a family was transferred here because of the husband's job. His wife said, it was so hard for me on many levels, but especially because shortly before I came here, my mom died after a brief illness. 2 weeks after her funeral, I was sitting in the back of Assumption Church at Mass, trying not to cry the entire Mass. She said, during the sign of peace, a woman I did not know, whom I would guess to be about twice my age, came over and said, could I give you a hug? And I said, okay. And then afterwards, the woman said, there is love here for you. And she said, I don't know how this woman knew me, if she did, or of my pain. Maybe she just saw something in my face. She said, but I swear, when she said those words, I believe I heard Jesus speak. And I believe she did. For that is what Jesus was like. That's what Jesus stood for. Jesus saw the pain in the people of this world. Jesus didn't hide his face from suffering. He saw the outcast. He saw the brokenhearted. He saw the sinner. He saw the hungry. And he was moved by that. And he was moved by that so much so that he would define himself as a person in part who came to bring healing and hope and life for all of those who suffer. He said today, I didn't come for the healthy, I came for the sick. He saw the suffering in any way that they were. And he based his life then on somehow making this world a more just and loving place for them. He seemed to be even able to see the hurt underneath those who hated him and would kill him. He saw the pain of God's people. That's what God is like, huh? In Jesus, God acted decisively to be near to the people of this world in our heartache and in our pain. It's almost as if God cannot not see and respond somehow. And my brothers and sisters, that is our job as well. To see and reach out with love to those who hurt. Sometimes it might not seem like much. A friend of mine was visiting here at Assumption with his elderly mother. He said it was pouring down rain, and as we got out of the car, 2 teenagers saw my mom getting out in the pouring down rain, ran back to their car, got a big umbrella, and walked my mom up the stairs of church so that she could stay dry. He said, Father, I'm sorry that I don't even know their names, but there's really something beautiful there that I hope you don't take for granted. Again, it might not have seemed like much, but to him it mattered very much. Or maybe when we see someone in need, and we reach out, the consequences are more changing of our lives. There was a single woman here with child who somehow ended up talking to one of our parishioners. I don't know how that conversation began. And she began to trust this woman, and she told her how frightened she was. She had very little money, she didn't know how she'd be able to work and have this baby, and she was contemplating abortion. The woman from our parish encouraged her not to and said, "And I'll help you." And now that child is alive among us. The family that befriended this single young woman take care of that child during weekdays so mom can go to work. And then on evenings and weekends, mom takes her child into her own arms again. My brothers and sisters, that is the type of stuff of which this is all about. In today's gospel, Jesus said, "It is mercy I desire, not sacrifice." Now, he was quoting the prophet Isaiah there, and he wasn't suggesting that the sacrifice of the Mass is bad. It of course is holy and important and life-giving. It is. But to Jesus, it means nothing. This sacrifice means nothing if it doesn't result in us being more merciful as he was merciful. The prophet Hosea went further. He said, "This offering is loathsome to God if we come here and then don't show compassion and mercy afterwards." Somehow, at the very heartache, the very heart of this Mass is that we see the heartache of the world and love. So what do? I think the first thing we do is we've just got to see. We've got to see like God sees. We've got to see those who are hurting, who are hungry, who are imprisoned, who are unwelcomed, who are abandoned, who are grieving. We've got to see them as God sees them. And then we do something. We get involved. And I don't know what it will cost us, and certainly we can't stop all the suffering of the world or ease everybody's pain, but I think we never know what difference our act of kindness might make. For many people, the way we reach out to them might be the clearest taste of God they have ever had in their entire life. I tell you these few stories to encourage us to see and to act as well. Each week in the bulletin, we have a little paragraph under our mission statement, "May you find Christ here, may you bring Christ to the world," where we name some of the ways that happens. And it happens in so many ways, and I hope you see it. A mom told me the other day about how excited her 11-year-old, this is a little while ago actually, how excited her 11-year-old was to go to camp, especially because you could swim there. But the first day of camp, her daughter never showed up at the swimming pool, and mom said, "Why?" Well, she found out that there was another girl who had been there who didn't bring a swimming suit, and she didn't want that little girl to have to sit all by herself all day, so she gave up swimming that day to stay with her. How Christ-like, how merciful. But so it is, our call. And in so many ways, I am privileged to see us live that. Show the forgiveness, the mercy, the compassion, the kindness of Christ here. And I think that maybe sometimes we don't notice it because we're so close to it. So I'll end by quoting Sherry Roeder. Sherry is the Food Resource Bank manager who visited us as part of our growing project, that effort we have here to raise money to feed the hungry. After coming to be with us and being at Mass, she said, quote, "You don't know how lucky you are here. Your church is magnificent. And you have no idea how many people know about how welcoming and generous the people here are. As I travel, I tell everyone about the goodness at Assumption Parish and what a difference you all are making in the lives of hungry people. As I interacted with many of your parishioners at Mass, I was thanking God for the awesome experience of being here. Your parishioners glow. In the end, that's what this is all about anyway, isn't it? That we would be merciful as God is merciful. Oh, hello, Big Al. Big Al, what's going on? Timmy. You saw Timmy? What? Sad. Timmy was sad? Okay. I helped him. You helped him? So Timmy was sad and you helped him crying. Yeah? Okay, he was sad and crying. Well, how did you help? Sat down. You sat down? I cried too. You cried too? Oh, that's perfect, Big Al. Didn't say much. He didn't say much? Oh, I think sometimes you don't really have to say much. Timmy could tell that you cared, and I'll bet that helped him know, Big Al, that Jesus was there too. Really? Really? When we show love to others, Big Al, especially when they're hurting, that's so like Jesus, and it helps them to know that Jesus is there too. You want to tell him yourself? Okay, I'll tell him. Bye. Boys and girls, Big Al said that sometimes he sees you be kind to people, and he sees you forgive, and he sees you be generous, and it helps him know that God is with us. So he was too shy to tell you thanks himself. So I'll tell you thanks. Because every time you show love to somebody that hurts, you help them know that Jesus is with them. And that's our job when we come to Mass.